whole class is kind of based on the idea of like learning how to manage gallery. So this is our final, is having our own show and kind of using the skills from like hanging paintings to, you know, working with the gallery and doing publicity and stuff. So we kind of get to put everything we've learned to test it, I guess. See if we've learned it, I guess. See if we're doing well.
This is probably the most practical class I'll take for my major, and hopefully it will kind of give me experience that will be helpful getting a job after graduation, because I will have had this experience. But it also sort of lets you get your toes wet and kind of work out if this is something you even want to pursue.
I mean, I'm an art student, I guess, but you know, it's always been a great idea, I think, to progress as you get older. So I think naturally, just being in more shows just kind of makes sense. But that's basically I'll be doing this more often, and the earlier I start, the better. But I think it would be great to give myself a reason to continue making work outside of like the means of like a classroom.
Oh.
Hi. We are students from Joe's College, and we're in the gallery management class.
Okay.
And this is our artist, John. He also is
Very terrible examples of gallery management.
No.
But we were wondering, did you have, John's been here before, and
I was wondering if there's anybody we can talk to, perhaps.
If Susie's here, I mean, other than me.
Do you mind if I film in here? I'm working on a document. Okay.
We got a lot of little, I mean, there's a lot of small galleries, you know, here. Let me just give you all a tour so you can see what you're doing.
Thank you.
You can film.
Okay. I won't film whoever doesn't want to be filmed.
This is the gallery office. So what we do here is we create art. We edit it, we bind it, we do whatever it takes, and then we sell it, and then we print it. And the reason it's called Robinson Gallery is because of Jack Robinson, which is a story, you know, in and of itself. And so this past Sunday we had a girl at a cupcake show. Just to sell our cupcakes, I told her we'll take a trade. And here. Freight elevator. Yeah, you know, the different striations of stuff. Some real looking AstroTurf. Huh.
yeah, this is a good size.
No, the other way. This is a nice little gallery.
Yeah, this is a good size for you. It's just like, you know, if you only had a little bit of work, we wouldn't want a big room.
Yeah.
Or if we had a lot of work, we wouldn't want a little room. That looks like the size.
Looks like this too.
Yeah. I mean, I think that would be great because I think I can make a whole show like, in that space.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of like the just like way it is. It's like,
Yeah.
Should we see if he's available on the 8th too? If this doesn't work.
Yeah, I mean, would that
Would
be,
you be ready
would you
for
freak
that?
out?
That's in 2 weeks, isn't it? 2 weeks from Friday.
Check.
I think it is.
Oh my god, I mean, if it's what you need, then like, but yeah, well.
The 29th is problematic. I have a major rehearsal dinner here that night. It's upstairs, admittedly, but it's a big deal.
Yeah.
It's like 120 people rehearsal dinner, and chances are they're going to want to come through here,
Yeah.
you know, have a glass of wine, go upstairs.
Or like
Could you do it on Thursday? We could do it on a Thursday.
I assure you, I will not be booking it for any other reason.
Okay.
Y'all be the only chance of anybody having anything here that night.
Okay.
Because,
Thank
you know, we're saying, you know. I just,
Yeah.
Well, we could talk to our professor and see.
Do you have a card
or I can just write it down.
Awesome.
Well, thank you so much for all your help and showing us around.
Yeah.
It was nice to meet you.
nice to meet you too.
All right. Well,
See y'all later.
talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye. Sometimes I feel like when I am looking at an art newsletter or a website or even reading that I get assigned in class, sometimes I feel like, and I also feel like this when I read Vogue magazine sometimes, that I'm sort of like peering in on an inside joke that I don't fully understand because I'm not in that world exactly, like I'm on the periphery sort of. And so I think that if you're an artist, you get it and you understand, or maybe you don't look for the things that I look for. Like,
To me, it's just unorganized. 'Cause I
yeah,
don't get it.
exactly.
I think people who make art, they have ideas and they have a way of thinking about what they make and what they want to say in a different way than the art historian dissects and understands and tries to interpret that medium.
Art history majors tend to be very type A personalities, and artists are flaky's not a good word because that has very negative connotations,
I feel
but
like they just take it as it comes, you know?
yeah,
like,
exactly. Like they're dealing
go
with
with the
things in
flow.
like very present time.
Why do you love the art world?
I like it because I think that everything makes more sense when you study art.
Yeah.
And it gives you a good way to look at the history of the world at a very, I don't know, subjective viewpoint, maybe.
I've always enjoyed history, so I think it's just a new way
Yeah.
to look at that.
It makes history more exciting.
Yeah.
For sure.
Definitely.
I love the art world because, I mean, there's constant things to see. I think it's amazing. I think I love seeing what people create, and it's all about the act of looking. If anything, I think the art world and the art and that kind of visual language and vocabulary allows people to reinterpret how they see things around them. So that's why I like it.
That's great, thanks.